Conservative NBA peeps, what's up? It's me, John D. Villarreal, the four-time national champion, joined by Paul F. Villarreal, the NBA expert. We're still talking about this incredible win by the Miami Heat to defeat the Oklahoma City Thunder. 4 games to 1 game to win the NBA Finals. It's absolutely incredible and unbelievable, and how LeBron James has won the MVP of the NBA Finals. And he's also the MVP of the regular season in the NBA. And now he has a championship ring. And Paul, Magic Johnson, Hall of Fame, super great, super legend Magic Johnson, was talking after the game about how great LeBron is, and that maybe, possibly, in my personal opinion, first of all of our personal opinion only, we're not alleging facts, not casting aspersions, all for entertainment purpose only. Please check the disclaimers. And I'm not going to get this quote exactly right, whatever, but it was something to the effect, if I'm remembering correctly, my personal opinion, paraphrasing, I think it was something like, we may be seeing the best, if not one of the 2 best players ever to put on a jersey in our lifetimes. And of course, in my personal opinion, you're probably also talking about Michael Jordan there, the superstar of the NBA. But when we talk about the kind of stats and performance and accolades and things that LeBron James has accomplished in the NBA at only 27, Paul, and now he's been working and improving his game with the post-up game and everything, and having won a championship here, and the discussion about how now he may be able to take his game up even another level with the confidence and the pressure off. What do you think about that statement by Magic Johnson, someone obviously that is a super expert? And let's discuss the magnitude of that.
Well, look, if anybody would know about that level of greatness, it'd be Magic. I mean, Magic is regarded by pretty much everybody as one of the top 5 players in NBA history. So he's certainly somebody that could speak to that. I think Magic also said that LeBron is right now in the top 10 all time. I think that you're right. He's clearly, in my opinion, talking about Michael Jordan and LeBron as the 2 greatest when LeBron's career is done. LeBron has incredible statistics. There's only 3 other people in the history of the league that have even nearly the type of statistical dominance that LeBron does. That's Jordan, Shaq, and Wilt Chamberlain. So the statistical case is there. Assuming that LeBron doesn't suffer any big injuries and he just continues to put up the kinds of numbers that he has, and there's no reason to think that's not going to happen. LeBron's never really had any major injury. He's built so strong. Hopefully he will stay healthy. I think that there's a very good chance, and I'm sure Magic was thinking this tonight as well, that this is the beginning of a dynasty for the Miami Heat and for LeBron. So if LeBron wins a couple more rings, he could win some more regular season MVPs. I think there's a very good chance that when you put the whole package together in terms of his statistics, a couple more championships, and just what he's able to do on the court, I think he could be there. I think he could be possibly in the top 2 all time when everything is said and done. I agree with Magic about that.
Absolutely incredible. And you mentioned Shaq, and I remember watching SportsCenter, and they had, Michael Wilbon there, Magic Johnson, JB, Chris Broussard, all talking about this after the game. And guess who comes up during the broadcast? Shaquille O'Neal. And and he kind of like said hi to people. Basically, I think he was like kissing him on the head, if I remember correctly. I don't know. Maybe I love Shaq. He's funny. That's awesome. That's all my personal opinion. But you think about Shaq being in that mix. And Shaq, won a championship with Miami, and also Shaq played with Kobe Bryant, and Magic Johnson, obviously the Laker phenom. Let's bring it back to that situation right there, because there are some people in the past, in my personal opinion, that had compared Kobe Bryant to Michael Jordan, and now here's someone who basically played in the same era, obviously, as Michael Jordan, and who was a Laker great, and by inference, do you think that Magic Johnson is saying that LeBron James is better than Kobe Bryant? Let's deal with that. And what significance, if any, do you feel like Shaq coming up there and kind of saying hi during the broadcast? Shaq seemed pretty happy. Where do you think Shaq's feelings are on this, and LeBron winning and Miami winning again? And do you think that might have anything to do with Kobe Bryant as well?
Well, I believe Shaq was there with NBA TV, who was also covering the finals.
Oh, sure.
Charles Barkley, those guys were there, so I think he was working as well. I think that, and Shaq played with LeBron for a year when LeBron was still in Cleveland. So he's played with both Kobe and LeBron, and Shaq has, so he could kind of give some insight into both of them. I think that Magic certainly knows Kobe well. As you said, he played against Michael. He played against Larry Bird, so he knows, he can evaluate those guys. I think that as great as Kobe is and has been, I think that, again, statistically, if LeBron continues on the trajectory that he's on, he's going to surpass Kobe, including in points, which is really the only advantage that Kobe has now, just because his career is a lot further along. LeBron's scoring average per game over his career is better than Kobe's. So when you factor in the other things LeBron does, he's definitely a better rebounder, and he has more assists. It's just hard to put Kobe over him, in my opinion. Now, Kobe has 5 rings, but 3 of those rings came when he was playing more of a second fiddle role to Shaq, which is why Shaq had 3 finals MVPs during those 3 title runs, and Kobe had none during those 3 title runs. Kobe didn't win his own finals MVP until later in his career. Right now, Kobe has 2 finals MVPs, and LeBron already has 1. So if LeBron has another great run in the next year or 2, then he could end up with as many finals MVPs as Kobe. So I understand where Magic's coming from. I think that Kobe, as great as Kobe is and has been, Kobe is kind of like, the way I look at him is a lesser version of Jordan. LeBron, there's never been anybody like LeBron in the NBA.
Wow.
He's the first one like him. He's so big, so strong, and so athletic. There's never been a guy like him. So he's a new thing. And in the same way that Jordan was a new thing. Shaq and Wilt Chamberlain were both dominating centers, and they both changed the game because of how great they were. But we've never seen anything like LeBron. So I think that, in all fairness, I just believe that unless there's a health problem for LeBron that's very serious, I think there's a good chance that he will be remembered as better than Kobe. And I guess that's what Magic is probably thinking as well.
Incredible. In my personal opinion, first of all of our personal opinion, only knowledge and facts, not casting aspersions, all for entertainment purposes only. Please check disclaimers. I totally agree with that, Paul, because the bottom line for me is that Kobe, in my personal opinion, like you said, has the great scoring and everything like that, but I always feel like Kobe's going to take the last shot with LeBron. I don't know who's going to take the last shot because, he seems to have, I don't know if you want to call it more of a quote-unquote team game in my personal opinion,
yeah,
or a complete game in my personal opinion, meaning that, he's got the rock, he can take the shot himself, he can take it from outside, he can drive to the hoop, he can do the post-up move, or he can dish it to Wade or LeBron or to Miller or someone else like that. And we saw some just laser-like, almost just, unconscious passes tonight that were just right on target, and that just shows. And of course, doing the defensive work. And I just feel like LeBron has a more complete game, fights harder on defense than Kobe, and definitely sort of gets more of his teammates involved than Kobe. Paul.
That's right. Look, the way I mentioned this, like I've alluded to this before, but I'll say it again. The way that I look at Kobe compared with LeBron is this. Kobe hangs his hat on scoring, whereas LeBron is thought to have a more complete game. But at the end of the day, LeBron is a better scorer than Kobe. So it's like even on Kobe's main thing, LeBron's better than him. And, I mean, the numbers support that. Over their careers, LeBron scores 2 more points per game than Kobe does. So the great scorer has been outscored. And then when you add in the other things that LeBron does better than Kobe, passing and rebounding, to me, there's just no case. The only case has been that Kobe has more rings. But now that LeBron started, he won his first ring and he might win some more. I think that as time goes on, again, barring a serious injury for LeBron, I think it will become more and more accepted that LeBron had a better career than Kobe.
What's incredible is I totally agree with you, Paul. What's incredible, particularly now, because after this championship, I just feel like there's going to be a lot of talented NBA players that are going to want to play in Miami. I think that it seems like, if I'm a player, honestly, in my personal opinion, and I look at, would I rather go, let's just say, to Los Angeles with what's going on there and the team chemistry, or would I rather go to Miami with the team chemistry there? It's a no-brainer. It seems like, Miami's having fun. It seems like LeBron's having fun. It seems like he's coming into his own. And what's so scary is you look at the performance of LeBron in last year's finals with his statistics, points per game, rebounds, assists, everything like that, versus this year, and the total transformation, if you will, and elevation of his game. What's so scary is how much better can LeBron get? We don't know, because he's willing to put the work in, it seems, in my personal opinion, and now I think he's really, the pressure's off in so many ways. He has a ring. The haters, you really don't have anything left to say, at least for now, and so I feel like LeBron has the, if you will, the mental and emotional space to really take his game to that whole different level and just have even more fun with it. And I think other people, they see that kind of positivity, they see that kind of optimism, and they want to glom onto it. And I also want to hit you with this point before I get your response on it, and that's this. You talked about we've never seen a player like LeBron before. I totally agree with that. I kind of liken it to look, he has a lot of the best elements of, let's say, maybe Shaq's game, combined with, or to some extent Dwight Howard's game, combined with the best elements in a lot of ways of Michael Jordan's game. And I'm not saying he's as good as either one of those legendary players, meaning Shaq and Michael Jordan, at what they're best at. But what I'm saying is that when he has that kind of explosive scoring ability with the kind of blocking, post-up game, defense kind of capability of a Shaq and that kind of situation, and the physical toughness and presence, down low. Okay, no, he's not 7 foot plus, 300 pounds plus, everything like that, but he is very big, and he is very muscular. And what is he going at now, Paul? 275, 265, something like that. So he's got a lot more size and power than a Michael Jordan, and yet, like you said, has incredible stats on scoring and has the outside shot too. So you're talking about a player, in my personal opinion, as you said, unlike any that maybe we have even seen before, Paul.
We've never seen anybody like this. This is basically like a elite defensive end in the NFL playing small forward in the NBA. But with incredible jumping ability and speed. That's the size that LeBron is. LeBron James is basically the size of Karl Malone that used to play for the Utah Jazz, but he's way more athletic than Karl Malone. That's frightening. Karl Malone's enormous. LeBron is, and he's about 265, 270. He's right in there.
Yep.
And again, this guy's only 27. He's only going to get bigger. So
no fat, not that I can see.
No fat. I think the last time I heard, he's like 5%, 6% body fat. Nothing. And he's just, he's a freak of nature in a good way. LeBron a lot of times is talked about as being a hybrid between Magic and Michael, because he can score like crazy and he's a great passer. And it's a pretty good way to think about him. But as you said, neither of those guys are as big as LeBron. And what LeBron is going to do now, the areas he can still improve upon is he can get calmer, better concentration, which he showed in this playoff run, reading the books, kind of keep himself calm, keeping calm when he's hitting his free throws, shooting his free throws. The two other areas are his post game is going to get even better. We've talked about that in several videos. That's the key as he continues to improve that. And then the other thing is, and I know Rick Barry, the NBA Hall of Famer, who's the father of John Barry on ESPN covering the finals, said LeBron can still improve his jump shot. He needs to do a couple things with that, and I agree with him. So I think now that he's kind of fought through the pressure, won his first ring, I think he's only going to work harder. I think that he can refine those couple last parts of his game, and I mean, the guy's pretty much unstoppable now. When he does a couple more of those things, he will be totally unstoppable. You mentioned in one of the other videos we did tonight about Akeem Olajuwon working with LeBron, and he has worked with him. I know that LeBron's talked with Akeem a couple times during this postseason run. And Akeem said about LeBron maybe a month ago, said, look, when LeBron's post game gets even a little bit better, he's just going to destroy the league. And I agree with that. You saw in this series, and especially tonight, every time LeBron got the ball in the post, Oklahoma City doubled him. They had to double him because nobody can guard him single up. But the problem with doubling LeBron is he's such a good passer. If you double him, somebody's going to be wide open. LeBron's going to find him, and then like tonight, you're going to get a whole bunch of three-pointers. So I think it's only going to get better and better from here.
I think it's fantastic. So let's just circle it up right here. Bottom line, do you agree with what Magic Johnson said, NBA super legend Magic Johnson, that we may be seeing one of the best, if not the one of the either the best or one of the top two best players ever put on a jersey in the NBA? Again, it's a paraphrase, it's my personal opinion, in our lifetimes, Paul.
Yeah, I do. And Larry Bird said something similar maybe 2 months ago. He said, look, when everything's said and done, LeBron James could be better than all of us. And I agree with that, because the assortment of abilities, skills, and natural talents that LeBron has, nobody's ever had it. The only guy that's even close to that, to me, is Jordan and maybe Wilt Chamberlain. And he's putting it all together. And again, as long as he's been around, he's only 27. I mean, so I think that if he stays healthy and he keeps working, I do think that, yes, he can be up there with Jordan, top two player all time. Obviously, he's not there now, but I think he can be there, and I think Magic sees that as well.
It's so incredible, and I'll just finish it off right here and cap this off. What's the most incredible thing to me of this whole season and series and playoffs and all of that type of stuff, particularly given the schedule that these guys played and the compressed schedule and the amount of games in that period of time, was the kind of gutsiness and toughness and mental toughness that LeBron showed, dealing with the kind of scrutiny. I think Chris Broussard spoke to that, like, with social media now and the 24/7 sports, talk radio and TV and everything like that, that there may not have ever been an athlete with this kind of pressure on them and constant scrutiny on them, if I remember right, paraphrasing my personal opinion. And for LeBron James to have performed as he did all season and through these finals and playoffs, I just think just shows you an aspect of his game and person and psyche that is just unbelievable and outstanding, and I don't think has been fully appreciated because of maybe what some of the previous criticism from some corners may have been about LeBron. And I think, Paul, that's an aspect of this kind of champion, and something that needs to be also evaluated when we're talking about his role in terms of some of the best in the NBA of all time.
I totally agree. It's a completely different world now. Look, I've been watching the NBA for 30 years, and it is totally different now with the amount of coverage and scrutiny and instant reaction like what we're doing now. It's just a different world. And LeBron brought some of this on himself, the decision, all this stuff, but I've never seen anybody in any sport get the kind of scrutiny that LeBron did, whether it was justified or not. And he fought through it. He did it. And like Magic said, Michael got better after he won his first ring, and he thinks LeBron's going to be that too, because now the pressure's off and you can relax. Yes.
I think that's huge. And speak to this very quickly before we wrap up. There's two questions I have. One about the Olympics, and the other is about athletes that are maybe somewhat or have some similarities to LeBron, in my personal opinion. Let's deal with that first, and then we'll deal with the well, let me actually no. We're going to deal with the Olympic question first. How do you think LeBron is now, having won what he's won here? It's just such a huge thing. Obviously, how do you think he's going to go into this whole Olympics situation? What kind of mentality is he going to have? Is it just going to be complete party celebration? Do you feel like this is going to increase his play there for Team USA, and it's just, puts even more momentum for the gold? How do you think that's going to affect LeBron's summer? And we've already talked about this being the summer, if not the year of LeBron, in our personal opinion.
Yeah, now I guess it's not a completely set deal that he's going to play for the Olympics, but I would be stunned if he didn't play. I think that this is going to lift him up. LeBron is a person that thrives on energy, and he's an extrovert. He likes being whatever. Now that he's won this, he's going to want to be out and about and have fun with it and soak it in and just enjoy it after all the pressure he's been under. So I fully expect him to be at the Olympics in London, and I think that he's going to be clearly the leader of the team now. Even with Kobe there and other great players there for Team USA, I think LeBron will definitely be the leader. I think that he will get a lot of acclaim and attention from people around the world, fans of basketball. And I think he's just going to roll with it. Because like I said, now the pressure's off. And LeBron is very extroverted. He likes interacting with people. I think that this is definitely setting up to be a great summer for him, and I expect him to do great in the Olympics.
I love that. Last question. Let's talk about, and we've talked about, and we've had sort of, we've liked all of these athletes I'm going to name in sort of an affinity, if you will, and for me, and my life as a elite, world-class competitive athlete, if you will, and for the years, many years that I competed, I kind of felt like I was, this kind of athlete and have that kind of personality, and obviously, as my brother and everything like that. When you talk about LeBron and you talk about, are we seeing a different level of elite athlete, a new generation of elite athlete with sort of additional facets and maybe a certain style or similar personality traits, if you will, meaning like when you look at LeBron and what he's been through and having winning this, when you're looking at Tim Tebow, when you're looking at someone, again, such as myself, whatever like that, having all kinds of different interests and succeeded all kinds of different things, everything like that. I'm not trying to, make this about me, but I'm just saying, like, my fans out there, you'll know what I'm talking about. When a lot of our people, you're 4-time national, I didn't believe you until I saw your videos and stuff like that. That's what I'm saying. Like, and you're looking at someone like Jeremy Lin, Harvard okay, and doing that whole thing, coming off the couch there and everything like that, being someone on the bench, and then to hit the levels that he's been able to hit here. And also you're talking about the personality of these folks, the wide mass market appeal, the kind of integrity, the kind of values that they bring into it, and all this type of stuff. And I definitely would associate myself with that. But also the flip side of it, Paul. So you're seeing the kind of enormous, worldwide, quite frankly, for all those athletes, appeal that they have, and the way that they not only succeed even through adversity in their own sports, but also have this, let's say, broader appeal, much broader beyond their sports. But also, let's flip it the other way, the kind of, in my personal opinion, the haters that they generate, and the kind of, that kind of stuff, and how they rise above that situation, as we have here, with JDV, the super genius, 4-time national champion, and conservative new media. Do you agree with me that there's something happening here? That there's a new generation of these, super mass market appeal, if you will, for lack of a better word, new elite sports stars coming on. And I think that hasn't there been communication between Tebow and LeBron and Jeremy Lin, if not directly through some comments in the press, stuff like that? Do you know where I'm going with this?
Yeah, I do. I think that, as you said, I mean,
and let me pause you for a second. That's one of the reasons I saw in these amazing, incredible athletes and people a lot of what what I'm about and what I saw myself. And that's one of the reasons why, and then being able to evaluate talent, why we, Paul, were, so quickly in support of all three of those amazing athletes, and have been, from such an early time, even through, some of the haters that have put comments on there on YouTube and stuff like that. And I believe that we've been proven right. And I think now that people are really, point being is, I think there is a new generation of sports athletes here, and I think people are going to be so embracing of LeBron and Tebow and Jeremy Lin and Linsanity and what that's all about.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I think that in different generations you get different types of leading figures, so to speak. I think that Tebow, Lin, and LeBron they're all good people. I know that LeBron has made some mistakes, possibly, in terms of public relations move and decision and this type of thing, but it's very difficult to, I think, see LeBron as a dislikable person. You can see the joy coming from him, the dancing, the smiling. He likes people. Well, LeBron had a tough upbringing, very tough, and I think that it's made him into the person he is. He appreciates things. He enjoys life. He's not introverted. He's not short-answered. I think you see that in some of these other athletes. And so we are getting a new generation where Tebow, LeBron, they friends, they reached out to each other, and it's like, these are the type of people, and it's the type of athlete now in the superstar where they do interact a lot. On Twitter, they interact with fans. They like being around people. They like going out and speaking and being out there. And basically, they seem like good people, like good guys. And I think we are kind of in a kind of a golden age, I guess you'd say, of that type of superstar. That's great.
I think it's great, and I think what is similar to what we try to do here. We obviously have big personalities and a point of view and stuff like that, but we love everybody, dude, and we love people, and we love to have fun, and we try to help everybody out. And I feel that's the same thing with those three folks you're talking about: Tebow, Jeremy Lin, LeBron James. They seem to really like and respect their fans. They seem to love life. They seem to love the game. They seem to be big positive ambassadors for their respective sports. But also, I think that they are enormous, huge brands and positive brands on their own, frankly, even beyond their sports. And I think that is the future, Paul. And I think that LeBron James has put himself squarely in that kind of mix and forefront of that situation right now. Quite frankly, no offense to the other folks that I mentioned there, being the most accomplished athlete of that bunch. And I think this win tonight is a huge thing, and the MVP win, and also the statement again, how if we started here with Magic Johnson having that kind of affirmation, having that kind of, in my personal opinion, stamp of approval from a super legend of the NBA, now opens so many doors for LeBron James. And I just have to say that I'm, bravo LeBron James. I'm happy for you, bro. All of our fans, I think, would want to weigh in and comment on that. And we've been covering this NBA season, Paul, from the early beginning here with Linsanity and all the games and different things, and Miami Heat and LeBron, and what a way to cap it off.
It's been a great season. It's been a great year. I think it's a great year for the sport that LeBron has finally gone to the top. I agree with you. I think that we are entering a new phase, and there's some very good examples there to follow, and I think LeBron is definitely one of them. Again, he's not a perfect guy, but he's learned from his mistakes. I know he said to the media the other day, I was immature last year, including immature with the media, and now he's on top of the world, and we're just going to celebrate it with him.
It's fantastic. What do you fans out there think? Do you agree with us? So much to talk about here. It's a huge win. Magic Johnson's comments that with LeBron James, we may be seeing one of the top 2 players ever to put on a professional basketball jersey, NBA jersey in our lifetimes. Do you agree or do you disagree? Do you agree with some of the comments that we made? What about what I said about LeBron James, Tim Tebow, Jeremy Lin, and quite frankly, you're going to throw us in the mix if you want to in that mix. There's so much to talk about. Give us the comments below. Please subscribe above. I'm John D. Villarreal, the 4-time national champion. That is Paul F. Villarreal. We also want to take this moment to really thank all of our NBA fans all around the world for following our coverage of the NBA season this year. We thank you guys a lot. We love your comments. We have so much fun with you guys all over the world. So I want to thank you all about that. Please rate this video up. Also, please post to your social networking sites. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.